Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So in my previous video on this channel, and also on my Canadian Studmuffin channel, I asked my viewers, what artist did I just get ordered two CDs of that I've never ever had in my collection, vinyl or CD. And so I'm going to reveal the artist. And also I'm going to reveal the first person that got the artist right. And so thanks for everybody that, guessed. And some of you guessed some of the artists more than once. So some of the artists mentioned were Leon Russell. I've never had Leon Russell in my collection. But, I like his music from what I've heard of it. Joe Cocker, I've got his first two albums in my collection. Eric Clapton, I like Eric Clapton. I have Cream, like a compilation, 2 CDs, but I've never really gotten into his solo career as much. Todd Rundgren, I've never owned a Todd Rundgren album, even though I love the guy because he produced the first Sparks album. Ringo Starr, I like Ringo's music, especially the early years, but I don't have any of his albums. Elton John, I don't have anything at the moment, but I did in the past. Tom Waits, I've never owned any of his albums, but once again, I like him. Van Morrison, I've got Astral Weeks. Johnny Cash, I've got 4 or 5 of his CDs. I love Johnny Cash. Cat Stevens, I used to have him on vinyl. I don't have any on CD, but I like him. Tom Jones, I've never owned any Tom Jones music, but once again, I like all of these artists. Roy Wood, I've got a compilation with his band The Move, and I think he's super talented. I would like to, at some point, maybe get some of his early albums. Donovan was mentioned more than once. Rod Stewart, I've got a compilation that has his first, I think, 4 albums. I love Rod Stewart, like early Rod Stewart. Tiny Tim, I respect Tiny Tim, but I would like to get his God Bless Tiny Tim, his debut album at some point. Donald Trump, The Folk Years, I've never owned that. I've never had any Donald Trump CDs. Somebody joking. Don't joke on my channel. This is a serious channel. Steve Winwood, Janet Sampson, better known as Bob. That was his suggestion. I've got one of my all-time favorite albums is Blind Faith with Steve Winwood, but I've never owned any of his solo work. John Martin, I don't think I've even heard maybe a little bit of his music, but never got into him. Now, some of you mentioned Gordon Lightfoot. Absolutely respect him and like his music, but I've never owned any of his albums. Maybe I need to. Charlie Manson, nope. And I think he only released one. Well, I don't even know if it was released, but he only made one album. The Grassroots were mentioned. Todd Rundgren again. Captain Beefheart, I'm a big Captain Beefheart fan. I've got all of his studio albums. And Steve Miller, never really a fan of his music, but I did used to own some on vinyl. And before I get into the reveal, I also got yesterday, and I played this last night, and I figured it would be good, but it was excellent. I was really impressed with it. It's the Beach Boys in concert, their very first official live album. And the band is just so good. And this was a used copy, and really, it's still in the player, but excellent. If you're a Beach Boys fan, check that out for sure. All right, here is the reveal. They call it Mellow Yellow. That's right, Donovan and Nicholas Pearl. He guessed on the video on this channel and my other channel yesterday, and he even guessed the two albums, Sunshine Superman, which I did get, and the other one he guessed was Hurdy Gurdy Man, which I still need to get, but no, I got Mellow Yellow instead. And I also want to get the very first Donovan album I heard, From a Garden to a whatever it's called. But, it's kind of expensive to get. But at some point I will get it. But yeah, I think I'm going to, I don't know if I'll get all of his albums, but like I said, on Spotify, hearing them, I was really impressed. So this one I did play last night because I got it yesterday. Excellent. Here he is there. I don't know. He was just, for me, before this year, he was just a guy from the 60s that, I liked Mellow Yellow and some of his other hit singles, but I didn't think he was an artist that I would be buying albums of until recently. And this one I have not opened yet, but I have heard it on Spotify, and I like it. I like it a lot. So this is a 2021 release, and the album is from 1966. I believe this one is, I believe 1968, 67, 68. So there it is. Yeah, if you're a fan of Donovan and you know his discography better than I do at the moment, let me know what your favorite albums of his are. And, if there's some albums that you don't care for, I'm, interested in that too. And your favorite songs. And yeah, so that's it. I would like to thank everyone that guessed or tried to guess. Most of you failed. You're a bunch of losers, except for Nicholas Pearl. But there were others, like I said, I'll mention the name of the first person that gets it right. But others did mention Donovan too, so you're all right also. And everybody else is wrong. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.